I am the NBA Rotoman, and tonight, a look at the Denver Nuggets. We've got Nick on the phone from the Nug Doctor, an outstanding website. Nick, how long you had it up?
I've been publishing the Nug Doctor now for just shortly over 2 years. February 1st, 2006 was the first post.
And dude, it really is an awesome site. You can tell it's not just a hobby. I mean, it's what you do.
Yeah, sometimes publishing 3-4 times a day. Game preview for 82 games, a game recap for 82 games, and any other news that comes out of the Nuggets Nation, I try to keep a pretty close eye on. So it's a full-time affair. Even when I'm not writing, I'm certainly thinking about writing and what this team is doing currently.
All right, well, let's get the big question out of the way. The West, ultra-competitive. Can the Nuggets make it in?
Wow, right to the point. I'm skeptical. I really am, and I hate to root against the team. I love the Nuggets, obviously, but I'm skeptical. We've got a 3-game homestand tonight and the remainder of the week that, honestly, all 3 games are a must-win if we're making the playoffs. From here, we've got a 5-game East Coast road trip that's going to be absolutely brutal, and we've also got a 4-game West Coast road trip on the schedule still. The Nuggets have got to have every win possible at Pepsi Center where they've been the strongest if we're going to have any hope. And unfortunately, I'm afraid to say that I think the Nuggets' future isn't solely in their hands. It'd be great to see Utah drop a couple of games, and perhaps the Nuggets could win the division on some sort of assistance by Utah. But down there in the 8th spot, the Golden State Warriors have been playing tough basketball since the All-Star break. They were 7-3 in their first 10, and it'd be nice to see maybe the wheels fall off Golden State and the Nuggets slip in there. But unfortunately, like I said, they've left their own fate in the hands of others because I just don't think that they've won enough games. Too many games have slipped by, and now they need help from somebody else.
From a fantasy perspective, of course, you got AI, Melo, and Camby, and unless something's going on in Denver, we're not going to see a drop-off in minutes for them.
Unless they do some serious damage in the first 3 quarters, because every game from here on out is a must-win for the Denver Nuggets. So I expect to see high minutes because they're going to absolutely have to play their brains out for this team to make the playoffs.
Let's talk about Kenyon Martin and his impact on the team.
Kenyon Martin brings a lot of things to the Denver Nuggets. They were sorely missed when Kenyon Martin went down with the bad knee and a couple of other perhaps trivial incidences. We'll leave it at that. I think we all remember Kenyon being suspended from the team in the playoffs of recent. But Kenyon Martin brings toughness. Kenyon Martin brings a one-on-one low-post defender. Marcus Camby is not that guy. He's much better served working on the weak side, both rebounding and shot blocking. And Kenyon Martin means the Nuggets' best option at power forward.
Well, let's talk about Eduardo Najera. He certainly seems to be a fan favorite.
Well, that's just it. Eduardo has a charisma, and the way that Eduardo plays makes you fall in love with him. He's a hustle guy. He's a team guy. He'll lay it all out on the line and give you everything he's got night in and night out. There's no defensive assignment that he's not going to give you his 100% best effort on. It can be a center. It can be a small forward. Eduardo may be one of our better perimeter defenders as well, but he plays at 100 miles per hour at 100% of the time. And players do fall in love with Eduardo. He's got a cold following here in Denver, and he just has a charisma about him. You never hear anything bad about Eduardo in the press. He's always got the right things to say, and his play is indicative of his character.
What's his offensive value?
Eduardo Najera's offensive value is mostly around the basket. He's a very competent scorer with either hand, finishing offensive rebounds for layups. He has shown that he's got a little bit of an outside range. He's just recently implemented a 3-point shot this season that the Nuggets have had some decent success with. He's made a couple of threes lately that have carried the Nuggets to victories against the Spurs and the Suns. But for the most part, Eduardo is a garbage kind of guy. His game isn't garbage, but he likes to clean up the mess of others on offensive rebounds, defensive switches, taking charges, things like that translate into good offense a lot of times and fast break opportunities.
J.R. Smith, he seems to be pretty inconsistent. What's your take in terms of minutes and production?
Well, JR's minutes have seemingly been going up lately. He's averaging 17 points over his last 5 games. including making 14 of 26 three-pointers. So if you're looking for a three-point threat on the fantasy team that you're coaching, I mean, J.R. Smith is a great pickup at this point. You touched on it a little bit. He's inconsistent. But if you can find the right time to get J.R. on your team, he'll certainly give you numbers because he's capable of going for 40 points on any given night. He's capable of bringing the Nuggets back from big deficits single-handedly. Nuggets color man Scott Hastings likes to call him the single-man comeback because he can just ignite without any forewarning. 2, 3, 4 threes in a row. Before you know it, the guy's got 20 points in a quarter, and he doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat. And that's a testament to JR's athletic ability. Recently, he's been taking it to the rack a whole lot harder and getting a lot more free throw opportunities, which is perfect for a guy like JR because then that opens up his outside shot, which he's shown he has ultimately range unlimited.
Where is he in the rotation?
Well, recently he's been bumped up to Carl's right-hand man off the bench. Surprisingly enough, things like Linas Kleiza being injured, the inconsistency of Eduardo's offense, and the rest of the injuries that the Nuggets have sustained this season as far as Nene and the testicular cancer battle and Chucky Atkins with a sports hernia, J.R. Smith's been plugged into almost a full-time sixth-man role for this team. Now, Linas will come back, but I'm just not sure how George Karl's going to play that, considering Linas has been down since an unbelievable February. Lennis's play has suffered along with a twisted ankle, and JR's play has risen to the occasion. So I'm not exactly sure how the playoffs, if the Nuggets do make it, will dictate a rotation, but I do know that J.R. Smith will get significant minutes from here on out.
Of course, Linas Kleiza is another one who can really ignite the crowd.
Absolutely. He's another guy with a cult following. He brings out the Kleiza crazies, as I like to call them. There's a substantial Lithuanian presence in Denver, and they love Linas.
Well, when does he get back up to full speed?
Well, Linas has been playing, albeit he is ginger on that right ankle. He has been playing. I think Linas will be back to 100% towards the end of March.
What about Chucky Atkins? He was out for some time. What do you see his role being for the next few weeks? How much time is he going to have, and what can he produce?
Well, Chucky's been playing in a very limited role. It's a pretty serious injury, sidelined Chucky for about 9 weeks, a sports hernia that he aggravated in preseason and then re-aggravated it to a hernia-classified injury. Like I said, he missed 9 weeks. He's recently been playing a very limited role. What Chucky ultimately, I hope, can bring to this team is a steady hand at the point. Anthony Carter has done a fantastic job filling in, but I just don't think Anthony Carter is a player with the dynamic personality and the overall control of a team on the floor the way that Chucky Atkins is. Now, the Nuggets would, greatly benefit from a healthy Chucky Atkins next season. I'm just not sure that Chucky's going to be able to assimilate into the overall flow that the Denver Nuggets are playing with right now after missing such a substantial amount of time.
What about Anthony Carter?
Anthony Carter, I can't praise him enough because he's had a career year, both scoring and assists. He's made numerous clutch shots, even a couple of game winners for the Nuggets, and games they might have not won. Anthony Carter brings a lot of defensive toughness. When he double-doubles, the Nuggets are nearly unbeatable, I believe. The stat is something like, 12-1 on the season when Anthony Carter can record a double-double. I just don't think Anthony Carter is the player that can commandeer the ship, if you will. He doesn't get the other players to play at their maximum capacity 9 times out of 10. I'm not sure why that is. I'd sure love to keep Anthony Carter as a reserve point guard because he's played an absolutely fabulous season so far, but I'm just not sold on his starting abilities.
All right, man. Player of the year, who is it?
Player of the year, it's got to be LeBron James, first player since Jordan or the Big O to average over 30 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. He gets my vote.
Awesome. The Nug Doctor, the name of the blog, an outstanding website. Nick, thanks for being on the show. Let's do it again.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Jim.
All right, that's it. Tomorrow, a look at the Orlando Magic. I am the NBA Roto Man on NBARoto.com.